Welcome everybody to my latest video. For this video, I'm basically going to be showing you guys what the Happy Fish 302 in one board is capable of. So let's go ahead and get started, and let me power on my Sega Astro City Cap. Alright, here we are, and this is the initial boot up screen, so to speak. Got a little character going there, and I have no idea what that says, but it was version 2. Anyways, this is the initial menu screen. Now the first thing you need to know is if you're going to buy this board, you need to have your credit wire installed. So that means you either need to have your coin mechanism hooked up to your JAMA harness, or at the very least have a push button hooked up to your coin wire on the JAMA harness. And there's two reasons for that. One is because, as far as I know, there's no way to set free play. And two, in order to even get past the initial menu, you need to insert a coin. And it also gives you a time limit, so let me go ahead and insert a coin. And whenever you insert a coin, it resets the time. Now this is the initial menu, and you can either select all games, fighting, mission, shotting, I guess that's supposed to be shooting, puzzle, and IGS, which I'm not sure what that is. I think it's sports. But anyways, I suggest going with all. So anyways, you put in a coin, and then you press the player 1 number 1 button, and now you can see you get to another menu. And again, let me put in the coin so it resets the time. If that timer gets down to 0, then whatever game is highlighted, it'll automatically start. So you got all games, and if I had just selected fighters, you know, it would show nothing but fighters. And this shows you a little bit of what the game is on the lower right hand corner here. Put in another token. So we got quite an assortment of games. I mean, the King of Fighters alone, you got more than you need. Right now it looks like it's going through all the fighters. More fighters. More. So let me just go ahead and go through all of these. You get a quick view of what's actually on here. And there are some great games on here. Metal Slug series, there's some good Street Fighters, Magician Lord, that's a great Neo Geo title, Ghouls and Ghosts. So you can see here we got the shotters, should be shooters, but oh well. UN Squadron, Alpha Mission 2. Now here's one thing. If you're expecting arcade perfect, nothing found out of the ordinary, 100% can't tell the difference versions of the arcade games, this board is not for you. Some games run good, some run really, really crappy, and you know, I haven't found one game that's actually arcade 100% perfect, but they are still pretty good. Now the cool thing about this is when you, oh yeah, you got some of these Fantasia games. Those are probably only released in Japan. So let's go ahead and start one game, Thrash Rally. Now, when you select the game you want, you highlight it, and you just, again, press player 1, button number 1. Now here's the cool thing. If you accidentally selected the wrong game, you can just go back to the main menu, and what you need to do is you need to hold down the player 1 start button and insert a credit, and that'll take you to the exact spot on the menu you were at. So here we are, Thrash Rally, and I'm going to go ahead and get back to the menu. And there you go. It comes back to the exact same spot. So there's really no need to turn off the machine in case you selected the wrong game. Now the one thing is, if I had selected all fighters, and let's say I got tired of playing the fighting games and I wanted to, you know, play a mission game, As far as I can tell, I would have to turn off the entire cabinet and then go back to the main menu. Now, there are some games that are good. One thing I did notice, and I bought this board primarily for the Street Fighters. Every Street Fighter 2 game that runs on CPS1 hardware, it plays horrible. It's not even worth playing. However, thus far, all CPS2 games, Street Fighter, was it Punisher, Aliens and Predator, those games seem to run great. Not perfect, but still pretty good. So let me go ahead and select one of my favorites here, Street Fighter 2 X, the Grandmaster Challenge, and I'll just do a little bit of gameplay and you can see that how it runs. Nothing to take serious, but here we go. Okay, here we are in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or actually it's the Japanese edition, Street Fighter 2 X, the Grandmaster Challenge, and this game runs pretty good. There are some sound issues regarding the player 1 side. I thought it was my cabinet at first, but it only happens on this game and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And I just selected my player, and I don't know if you could tell, but you couldn't hear the player select sounds. So here's some gameplay. Pretty good. This is the game I play primarily on this board. I do play others. So there you go, and you can see it runs pretty good. So let's try another game. Okay, here we are, and we're going to try Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting. And you'll be able to see just how poorly this game plays. I'm only going to show a few seconds, not even go a whole round. But for some reason, CPS1 games run like crap. See, it just seems like a really bad port. Frame rate just seems, to be about half of what it should be. So, let's try something else. Okay, here we are. We're going to try some Metal Slug 2, and this is another game that runs pretty good. I'm just going to show you a few seconds, nothing major, not even the whole level, but I'll just give you guys an idea as to what games run good and which games don't. So as you can see, it loads up just like a Neo Geo title. Sound is kind of loud, but there you are. Now let's try one more game. Here we are with Strider. Never played this one on this board before. Let's see how it goes. Not bad. kind of feels like the Sega Genesis version. I have to admit, I never played the arcade version, so I don't know if this is running at a proper frame rate or not. But it seems to be running pretty good. So there you are. Let's go ahead and get back to the main menu. So as you can see, you got quite an assortment of games. One game that unfortunately I wish had played really good, but it doesn't. That game would be Final Fight. Seems to be missing or running at half the frame rate that it should. But I've played some of these shooters and they run pretty good. Like I said, nothing seems to run 100% perfect, but you can't go wrong here. Is it worth it? I think it is. I really do. Some people might get this game just so they have Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And, you know, is that game worth the price of this PCB? You know, if you consider yourself a pro and you know tier lists and you know the number of frames per special move, then no, this is not for you. But if you're looking for a game board that, you know, just to have fun with, yeah, it's totally worth it. I got this for $125 off of Sears.com. So there's quite an assortment of games. It's a real easy to use menu, nice interface. My personal opinion is you can't go wrong. So if anyone is curious as to if a certain game runs good or not, let me know and I'll send you a message and tell you what I think. But anyways, there we go. That's about it. So until next time.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.